So some room. Start with our arches. All right, what we got for our cardio today, we are going to do some low intensity jumping jacks or regular jumping jacks. You can do this if you like. And we've also got squat jumps. All right, so we'll start with our jumping jacks first. Some crunch. All right, squat jumps are next. Don't have to go crazy low into the squat, just enough to get those quads activated. It's one fluid motion. All right, so feet about hip width distance apart, squat and then jump. Awesome. All right. First up for the lower body strengthening, we are going to do some good mornings, activate the hamstrings. Also got some sumo squats to do. Each are going to be 45 seconds. All right, so we'll start with our good mornings, hinging at the hips, feeling it in our hamstrings, and coming up, squeeze the glutes. Down, squeeze. Awesome. Next up, sumo squat. So it's a wide-legged squat. We'll do 45 seconds of this one as well. Okay, wide legs, knees, follow the direction of our toes. Ooh, sore. Awesome, and we'll march. All right, we are back 2 cardio, starting with jumping jacks, and then we'll do our jump squats. Okay, jumping jacks. Again, feel free to do normal ones. Awesome. All right, here we go with jump squats. Awesome. All right. We keep marching. All right, next up for the lower body, we are going to do hamstring curls. We're going to do a minute in each leg. Really going to emphasize contracting our hamstrings. We'll do alternating sides. Not alternating sides. One side is. All right, so we'll start kicking our heel up towards our glute. One side. Really focus on making sure that hamstring is what's bringing your foot up. Halfway with this leg. So, all right, we'll march. We'll do the same thing on the other leg next. Great. Hamstring curl, other leg. Halfway. Awesome. All right, we'll march. Last thing for the lower body, We're going to be at our desk for a high plank angle. We're going to do some rainbows. So glute focus exercise. So we're going to incorporate a little bit of core with this one as well. So high plank angle, going to straighten one leg out, and we're going to make a rainbow with our foot. Sure, we got plenty of room for this one. 30 seconds. I don't know if I said that. Very good. We'll march. All right, back to this high plank angle, same thing. Just the other leg. Awesome. And we march and we're back to our cardio. All right, low intensity or regular jumping jacks, up to you. Amazing. Squat jumps are next. Here we go. Very good. All right, core. Both of these are going to be at our desk at a high plank angle. Both going to be a minute, okay? So first one's just a normal plank hold. Do that for a minute, and then we'll do some mountain climbers. All right, so let's head to our desk, high plank. Really make sure the core is getting activated. So you might have to adjust. You take some steps back. I find it helps to plant the heels. Feel it in my core a little bit more when I do that. And we'll hold. Also activate the core by squeezing it. And tucking your tail in a little bit too. And make sure we're still breathing. Almost there. All right, great job. Whole march. All right, next are mountain climbers. So for this one, we're going to kind of act like we're running in that high plank position. Start off slow, and then we'll gradually increase our pace. Again, focus on our tight core. All right, here we go. Just start just by kind of bringing your knees towards your chest. Starting off a little slow. All right, we can pick up the pace a little bit. All right, and pick it up again. All right, and then we go a lot faster. Last 15 seconds. Very good. All right, and we'll march. All right, we are back to our cardio. Our upper body up next. We'll start with our jumping jacks. Very good. We'll do our squat jumps next. All right, here we go. Awesome. All right. All right, upper body, we are going to start just by warming up our shoulders a little bit. We're going to do some wall push-ups, just normal wall push-ups. And then we'll do our I's, T's, and Y's for our pulses. We'll start with some wall push-ups, so head to your wall. If you don't have a wall, you can use a desk. And here we go. Twenty more seconds. Awesome. All right. March it out. We'll get right into our pulses. 2 rounds of these. All right, starting with our eyes by our sides, and we'll pulse towards the back of the room, squeezing your shoulder blades as we pulse backwards. Amazing. Tease. All right, and come up for wise. And drop. Very good. We'll march. We're going to do another round and add some half pulses. All right, hands to our side, pulsing towards the back of the room with that half pulse added. All right, our T's. And our Y's. Awesome. Go ahead and drop. All right, we're going to slow down our marching, start to prepare ourselves for our stretches. We're going to do some deep breathing. All right, and in about 30 seconds, we'll start with our first stretch, which is going to be a front fold. Right. So for stretch, for that front fold, we're just going to come down towards our feet. Grab your ankles, your calves, or reach for the ground. All right, you can grab opposite elbows and let your head hang. And shake your head to nod. All right, now we're gonna slowly come up one vertebrae at a time. Very good. All right, rest of the exercise or the stretches will be done in our chair. I'm gonna start with that hamstring stretch first. I take one foot, stretching out the other one, toes pointed up to the ceiling, and we lean forward nice and carefully, reaching for that toe. Should feel it in the back of the leg. Helps to sit on the edge of your chair sometimes. We're still deep breathing. All right, slowly come on up. We'll do the same thing on the other foot. If it's too much to stretch for your toes, you can always hang out at your shins. And let that one go. All right, so we're gonna do a quick shoulder stretch next. So just cross body. We'll do the other arm. Last stretch of the day. We're gonna do a nice wrist stretch. So we'll bring our fingers back, hold it. We'll push our fingers down, hold. Do the same thing on the other hand. Pull our fingers back. And push them down. All right, and that's it for today. Thanks y'all for coming. Hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.